podcast. Yeah. Hello. Welcome back for the New Year's.
So I wanted to start off with that dance. It
Wha-
is basically this like tradition that men have started to do to attract women. And the girls are going crazy over it.
Okay,
Like it
you're gonna go straight into
is
it.
the hottest thing on
Straight
the
into
interweb
it? There's a
right
wall
now.
there.
What?
Did you think that I was sexy when I did that?
I never heard of that.
But what about when you watched it? Like,
I
did
thought
something tingle inside of you a little bit?
I thought it was compelling.
Right.
That's for sure.
Was it like, oh my god, like she's so talented, like she's so funny, like she's such a heartthrob, like I just want to marry her? Did you feel that way?
I didn't really know what was happening.
But when you saw it, were you like, oh my god, like she like doesn't care, but she does, and that's what's funny, and like it's just so cool that
Is
I
this
just
a
want to marry her.
Is this a trend right now?
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was great. Should I learn that?
That's it? Okay, we're gonna start with that.
Did you actually
We're
like
gonna
it?
start with that and we'll cut back.
I really hope I did it justice.
And we'll be
It's
back.
just
Is that a
meaningful.
thing that's happening these days?
Is this a fake thing that you came into with? Did you come with a fake little dance?
No.
And trying to trick me into a
If
thing?
I show you the real thing, will you play it? Actually,
Yeah.
you'll remember to do that
Yeah.
because my mom and sister have been watching this podcast and they say that you actually don't end it in the videos that we say we will. So, okay, here it is.
And people are liking this?
Did I look like him?
Yeah, so I'm seeing this young hip boy, this little young boy.
Fuck,
with
I don't
some
think I did
baggy
it
pants.
justice, honestly.
So are people liking him right now? Is
I
he
don't
the
think I
one?
did it justice.
No, you did a great job. What's
So
the
no,
deal with
so
him?
that's not a trend. He just fully made up that dance. Like
And do
it's
you
not
know
a
him,
trend.
or did you just come across this
So Leela came across this video.
Okay.
And she pulled this up and she said to me, I'm going to marry this man.
Okay.
Like, this is the one for me.
Okay.
Because he's so funny and cool that he did this dance. And I was like, you know what, you're right. I'm going to learn it. And I'm going to try to
And do it for me.
make these
that was
moves on
really
Aaron.
nice.
And I don't think I did justice to the way that he did the dance because I just think he did it so, like, cool and effortless and, like, boom, boom. And
I thought it was kind of nice that you were really trying, though.
Fuck. That is not what the vibe that I was trying to give out. I need to re-record this.
Okay. I think, though, what...
It's the pigtails. It's screaming try hard.
Oh, no. It was that there was... the only...
It was that I was excited about
No,
it.
well, you were really excited. And
I'm
then
trying to show
B,
my emotions less.
And then B, the song played twice in the video that you did it.
Yeah,
so
can
I'm
we
not
cut
sure
that?
if you added it or you did it twice.
No, you don't do it twice.
Did you do the
I
same
just
thing
really like
twice?
the song, so I just keep playing it over and over again. and
Okay.
It hasn't left my head for 2 days.
Whoa. That's okay.
Merrily we fall out of line,
Oh my god.
Does that turn you on a little bit?
Whoa. Oh.
No, so what the point of this is that my sister, as you know, I bought her a book for Christmas
Right.
on a relationship, a self-help book. And she's been reading a lot and she's been doing well. Do I think that her type of men is abnormal? No. Do I think that it's scary? Maybe.
So what is the thesis of the book? Like, what does it center itself around?
It's basically about finding, like, so I guess this woman, she wrote a book beforehand, and it was about how to love properly in a relationship.
Okay.
And this next one is about if you're actually loving the right person, because you might not be.
Right.
And, like, the thing is like, you shouldn't keep trying with the wrong person.
Right.
But anyway, Leela is, like, really determined to find love, and I really appreciate this optimism within her. And she, sometimes from time to time will, like, DM people that she finds on the internet
What?
to, like, hit them up, like, to see if
She's been
doing that.
to men on the internet, strangers?
Yeah.
How's that been going?
So I found out that she was DMing strangers when she like posted a throwback of herself like in high school. And she pretended to have severe depression
What?
to DM Madison Beer. Because she noticed, this is how it started.
Okay.
So Madison Beer, you know who that is?
The name is familiar.
She's like a singer.
Faces. Got it.
And she was posting like, I guess, screenshots of like fan interactions
Oh.
where, you know, they were saying like, you saved me in this dark time. And like, she was responding like, I love you, all the love. And Leela was like, oh my God, like if I tell her that she got me through the hardest time of my life, like she's gonna respond to me. So should I pull up the screenshots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you should.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see. I should have like come
Did she
ready with like the screenshots that she sent
coming
me.
ready with the screenshots would have been good. Did she get a response?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry to spoil that.
Oh, okay. That's quite a spoiler.
Hi, Madison! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! So I know you probably are never going to see this, but I just wanted to let you know that you have gotten me through so much this year. It was so hard for me some days, like I couldn't even get out of bed. But with your positivity and beautiful personality, I was able to push through. You have no idea how much I love you. I've been listening to your song since I was like 9. You're such an inspiration to not only me, but so many others in our world. I really hope you see this and maybe respond, but if not, it's okay.
What?
Just know I love you and thank you for getting me through tough times.
What the and no response? Nothing?
Here's another one.
Okay.
And
She
this
did
is
several.
to... I apologize. I don't know who this is.
What's the name?
Sam Hurley.
No idea.
I think he's like a cute boy.
Okay.
Hey, so I tried to message you on TikTok, but that didn't work out. Anyways, I think you are amazing and so cute. Like, it's insane. I've been a fan since day one, and I just want you to know that you are going to do great things. I tried to get tickets to your show, but I didn't get the chance, and I'm really sad. Heart. I love you, though. Heart, 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 heart. The next day. LOL, I'm just going to keep messaging you till you respond because I love you.
Did she follow through?
Here's one to Billie Eilish.
Has she yielded?
No, she messaged him every day for like a month.
Has she yielded any response from anybody? Okay. All right.
Can you get a blanket for Dawn?
So we're gonna do this Leela messaging a random celebrity every day with some kind of crazy lie until a response comes.
These aren't lies. Like, I think she's like kind of speaking from the heart. I just think it's a little psychotic.
It's a little.
But let's hear Billie Eilish.
Okay.
I know you probably have like so many messages from fans every day. I just wanted to tell you how much I love you. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I love your music and you're such an inspiration. You are like my favorite person ever. And knowing there is such an amazing person living among us is amazing. Amazing.
Not quite right. She's licking her butt on the camera.
Then she wrote like 7 hearts and then she wrote please respond.
Oh my god.
Okay. That was like in high school. She recently messaged a TikTok guy
Okay.
that she found on TikTok. Like, this is just a random guy she found.
Right.
And she said she was really proud of this one. And let me know if you'd respond to this, if I DM'd you this.
Okay.
I lost my number. Can you give me yours?
I lost my. Okay. Well, I would think that
No response.
I would think that that's a scam. You know how you receive like scam DMs?
Yeah.
That's like someone
No, she's
like that's like a non-native like English speaker sending out like a cold call.
yeah, right?
You're just like, huh?
So she's probably like scaring these boys with her messages.
That's like someone from Korea like emailing you at like 1 a.m. your time saying.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like that's bare like I lost my number. What's yours?
Yeah. She was really proud of that one.
I don't understand
And she told this to my mom.
Is the idea behind? Oh, I'm just trying to break down the like psychology behind that one. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Let's just break it down for a
Yeah,
second.
let's break it down.
I lost my number. What's yours?
Right.
But she lost her number. So she's
It's not
saying,
supposed to make sense. It's supposed to be like a what's a good phrase?
Well, I'm trying to think of like, is the idea there now? If you give me your number, then I have your like. I'm gonna steal your number. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I
I'm
think
trying
the
to
thing is like
about that.
I know it doesn't make sense.
No, but it could, and I'm
Grammatically definitely not.
Just like, I'm just could be so behind here.
You know, I thought it was kind of clever. Like if
Well,
you,
then
but
what
I
did you
don't know
think it
how
was?
you would lose your number.
Well, then what did you think the meaning was?
I thought it was like she lost her number, like she no longer has her own number. Sometimes that happens to people, does it not?
Oh, like she has a new phone number now.
Yeah.
What's your number?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, but it's definitely like trying to be smart. It's not like
Or no,
trying to be literal.
Got it.
It's
But
trying to be like a catchphrase.
I lost my number. What's yours? Got it. Cool.
Oh, now thinking about it though, it does sound like a scam. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Leela's a scammer. She always has been.
And no response from that guy either.
No.
So he's constantly been doing this. You said she did those earlier ones to these.
To celebrities. But now it's like becoming just like
So
guys
she's
that she
just-
finds on the internet. So Mikey, if you're out there, I know you made
Okay.
up that dance. I know that that's
Okay.
not a TikTok trend and you just made that up. And honestly, I thought it was really cute and brilliant.
Mhm.
My sister Leela is adorable. I don't know your age. Please write it in the comments below before you DM my sister. But she wants to marry you. So congratulations. You can become my brother now.
Okay. Reeling that in. Started with a wide net. Celebrities reaching for the stars. We've now gone back to just people.
On the internet.
So
Like
these are
they're
just
still
on
like
the internet. Are they famous at all?
they have like several K likes on TikTok, but I don't
Oh,
know if they're like
God. Okay.
famous.
So I'm getting concerned now. How do we feel about this?
I don't think Leela's gonna get kidnapped by someone on the internet. Like if it's anyone who's gonna kidnap her, it's gonna be someone she knows.
Right. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah. So I'm not concerned.
Okay.
This is honestly the safest behavior that she's been showing all week.
That's true. Honestly, that's good.
Anyway,
I'm still processing that.
I just wanted to show you the dance.
I'm processing all of what just happened over the last 10 minutes. This is great though.
I realized that I didn't like I didn't put my heart in it in the way that I didn't like. The thing about me is I think I like try too hard. Like
No.
and sometimes that
Okay.
shows. I know that shows, and especially with TikTok dances. That's why I don't do them. And Leela's my new publicist, and she said, Sophia, don't get a TikTok. And I think
Okay.
that was a smart choice for me.
Yes, I agree with that.
So I'm not going to get one.
Okay.
Um,
I think honestly though, it's not about ability. It's more just. It's not like I don't think you should get one because of anything related to ability. I think it's like gonna be the tech that's gonna get in the way.
well, that's ability.
I just think it's gonna be the phone, using the phone. That's gonna be tough.
Right.
But in terms of like ability, in terms of like presence, you got the stuff. Clearly, we just saw that a second ago with the dancing.
Well, here's the thing about you. So you didn't get an Instagram account till you were older.
Yes.
And I was actually stalking your Instagram the other day, and you have a pretty decent Instagram, especially for a guy.
I don't post ever.
But it's good. Like what you have posted is decent, except for the awful photos that you've posted of me
I
that
put
make
it to the back though.
me look like a gray ghost, and that you should be embarrassed if anyone sees that of me and thinks that you're dating a monster who is made of clay.
Made of clay.
Because that's the color that my skin looks in those photos. Like
Oh,
it's made
yeah.
of clay, like gray, purple, clay.
It's a cold. It's a colder image. And
No,
that's my fault. I should have warmed it up. Should have put up the Kelvin. Put up the color temperature.
Anyway,
Less cold. Freezing.
I never
burr.
looked good in Michigan. I don't look good in the winter. I had a short haircut in those photos.
It was because it's the color temperature. It's not.
I look terrible.
is the color temperature.
And that was like his like hard launch of me too. And it's just like, really? You want people to know that you're dating that? But anyway, my thing is like I am constantly going through an awkward phase with social media because I don't really know how to use it.
Yeah.
But like in the beginning, it was really bad. Like I got it in like 8th grade. And I remember I was like posting every day like pictures of like my mole.
Of your mole?
Like
why were we doing that?
Like on the side of my mouth because I thought that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like really hot.
Right. Yeah. Kids, when they go through Instagram initially, it's wild. Like the people, like if you go back, and some people like archive their photos, but like if you go back to like the 8th grade Instagram, I didn't have one back then, but like I would look, like I'd have a ghost account, and people post
That
crazy
is the most
shit.
Aaron shit I've ever heard in my life.
People would post crazy shit.
So why didn't you get one? Because you didn't trust yourself.
Probably that I didn't trust myself. Probably more out of like
You didn't have any
insecurity
friends.
of
I love you.
What the heck?
Have you been DMing strangers on the internet? We're getting some crazy energy this New Year's.
You know what?
Uh-huh.
I went home, and I felt like
It's also this all white, like you're giving very Ex Machina today. Like you were assembled in a lair by a man
I don't like that.
or by anyone. Doesn't have to be male.
I look like a
presence.
robot.
You're just giving like robot, like but kind of dangerous.
Well, like it's the new year. It's the new me,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something good.
Yeah, go for it.
I went home
I'm here all day.
and I felt like a little bit of a loser at home in a way that I've never felt before. And I know that I sometimes like doom scream on this podcast. But I'm in a very like grateful headspace right now.
Nice.
And I think that I had to like realize that I had to feel sorry for myself for like a brief moment, and then like I realized, what am I doing? Because I went home and I think I was expecting like to just be so socially fulfilled at home.
Yeah.
Because usually I am.
Right.
Especially with my family, and I was very socially fulfilled with my family. But I feel like the last time I went home, I was hanging out with friends a lot.
Sure.
Like really close friends, like big groups of friends. Like I was going out, I was like just doing more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was doing more.
Right.
And I think that it's rare that I go out, and it's rare that I like have a fun time for myself in that sort of way.
Yeah.
And so I feel very confident when I do, because, like not only with going out, you're also like dressing up, you're also like putting on your best face, like you're posting photos, like you're feeling good about yourself, right?
Yeah.
And I was feeling like that on my birthday weekend when I went home. But then I went home this time around, and I feel like everyone was home, right? Like the energy was just that every single person.
It's the only time of year, like Christmas holiday season right before New Year. It's the only time of year where you can guarantee like pretty much everyone you grew up with is going to be
there. So everyone I grew up with was there.
Yeah.
And
especially post college.
They all like gather at similar bars.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't even think like okay, when I was in Michigan, I would never have thought to go to those bars. Like I would have been too shy.
Right.
I would have been too embarrassed.
But
I would have been looking forward to going back to my life in Michigan.
Right.
And honestly feeling like I have more of a social life in my life in Michigan. Like,
yeah,
feeling like proud almost to go back to like that world of friends.
Yeah, yeah.
And now that I feel like we're post-grad, it's a little bit more spread out.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel like I have like a tight friend group.
Right.
I've never really had a tight friend group in my life. The closest thing I've had to that was probably in college.
Right.
And there was I always felt insecure about not having that. And I think like when I went back home this time, I was like seeing people post, or like I was feeling sorry for myself because like people that were cool in high school or cool in grammar school who I didn't even think about or care about when I was in college were all hanging out. And all of a sudden I was like feeling sorry for myself that I was not at these bars, that like
Right.
my brother was going to these bars, and like that like my dad was going, like that.
Wait, didn't your brother and your dad end up at a bar together?
They did, yeah.
So what happened there?
So I guess my brother was going out that night with his friends.
Okay.
And every time I tell my brother that I felt like left out growing up, he's like, well, you just have to like show up and put yourself out there.
Right.
I'm not as confident as my brother.
Yeah.
Like, that's the same thing. Like, when we were probably at a similar level with Spanish, like, it seemed like he was way more fluent than me just because he would just
Confidence.
spat out confidence.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he'll say that he can speak Greek. He'll throw out a few words. He can't speak Greek.
Right. So then the bar.
So, sorry.
It's okay. You're a
They,
sick girl.
I guess they just ended up at the same bar.
Like,
Because
did they bump into each other?
no, they didn't bump into each other. I think they planned it. So my dad was out with his friends that night. He was meeting
Right.
his friends at the bar, and I feel like my dad's friends are like the Sunset crew,
Right.
and so are Andreas's friends,
Right.
and so they kind of like ended up going to the same bar. And it's funny because like I heard my dad on the phone today or something, and he was like, yeah, you know, like I met up with Andreas at the bar, and like, you know, a lot of like Sophia's age was there too, like a lot of like Sophia's crew. And like I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, like and then my dad will be like, yeah, like, you know, people were asking about you, kid. And my brother will be like saying the same thing. And I was just like, dang, like, but I would never be like invited to this cool bar that my dad and brother are at
Right.
together. And all the Sunset heads unite. Like, I'm just
Right.
not at that level. And, you know,
You're not a made man.
I'm not a made man.
Made man.
What's that?
In Italians, in gangster culture, if you're made, you're in. They can't whack you. You're done.
How do you know so much about Italian gangster culture?
It's literally just in Goodfellas. I know nothing. I'm so stupid. Anyway,
Okay.
continue.
No, I'm not a cool guy. But I don't know. I just felt a little bit of like.
Well, okay. Here's what I dissect also, 'cause yeah, I
But
felt.
then let me tell
Yeah.
you something else. But then this happened. So I went out with my friends on a couple nights ago, like my close friends. And I think what also I've been feeling a little weird about, like a lot of my close friends that are post grad, like even Estefan, aside from maybe Ben, but I feel like he has a really strong group of friends. He's just not living around them. I feel like my friends, you know, they're kind of in the same city as all their college friends. And so my friends who I was close with at like in high school, who were maybe not as cool, like they felt that way like I did. They kind of felt left out. They always felt like they want to get out of the city. They always felt like they were just didn't fit in.
Yeah.
They have like a really strong group of college friends.
Yeah.
And I sort of felt like I didn't have that in the same way.
Right.
And you know, maybe that's because I had a long-term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't want to get in my head about that right now. But anyway.
Machina.
Uh, but anyway, I went out with these friends, and I was like, and I knew that all these like people from my high school and grammar school were at this one bar. And my close friend, you know, who I grew up with, she went to the same grammar school as me. So I feel like she can relate to this like trauma with me. But I sort of felt like, oh my God, like I'm missing out on something not being there, you know? And I felt like I would never be invited to go there. Like I don't know anyone there. And then like I was like even reaching out to my own brother being like, are you at that bar? Of course he was. He's way cooler than me. I was like, are you at that bar? And he's like, sorry, I fell asleep. I'm at home in bed. but he was at that bar. And everyone was texting me, hey, I saw your brother out. I'm like, well, cool. Thanks for the invite. I felt a little bit down on my luck. But then I looked back at my photos of that night and I was like, I had a really nice time just hanging out with my friends.
Yeah.
And I ran into a Stefan in a
That's
random pizza place on the
that
Mission.
You ran into your cousin.
It is.
Do you know the odds of that?
When we
of
ran
running
in, when
into your own
Stefan and I
cousin?
ran into each other, we didn't even say like, "Oh my God, hey!" Like we were just like, "Hi," because
That's where the night was at.
because we knew both of us. He had a night for sure, but I was like, both of us were at a place where we were just like, "Yeah, of course we're seeing each other
Yeah.
right now." I think it's New Year's.
Is it?
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's. To you as well. Happy 2024.
Happy
The-
2024.
The alleyway we live in is booming.
It is booming. Like people must be throwing fireworks within this alleyway.
Oh shit.
Um,
Anyway.
Anyway, I was just like feeling all this FOMO.
Right.
But then I just really changed my perspective right around.
Oh yeah, you turned it around. What turned it around for you?
Probably visiting my uncle in rehab this morning.
Yeah, and what care to elaborate?
I think it just made me realize that I am really blessed and lucky,
Yeah.
and why the fuck do I care if like people from high school who I never hung out with, like I'm just feeling down on myself for no reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just felt honestly really grateful for him and that he's alive and okay and choosing to work on himself in this new year. But I think that going to rehab this morning really changed my perspective and made me realize that narrowly we fall out of line. If you know what I mean.
New Year's kiss.
I think that was the most manly kiss that you've ever given me.
This is the New Year's song.
I know.
Oh, okay. Love you.
Love you.
I thought that was also like the worst timing to play that song after your story. Yeah, this is the year of being grateful for what we have. I was on the plane from having missed my flight, and I was like, you know what? Life could be worse.
Yeah.
You know, I missed my flight. I went to that hellhole that is LAX. Like, if an earthquake happened and a sinkhole appeared and disappeared one place on the planet, and if it were LAX, I would be thrilled by that. I went to the airport. I forgot my wallet. I told you of this. Did I tell you that I was almost detained at the airport?
No.
So I get in line at the
for
TSA.
the film.
Yeah. So, and I was getting upset. I gave them attitude.
Really?
I gave
What
them
was your
attitude,
attitude?
TSA.
What did you say to them?
I said, they were like, "Sir, we found something in your bag that we don't know what it is. We're gonna have to like investigate."
What'd you do?
That kid's like turn you on or something. What the hell? They were like, "We don't know what's in your bag. We're swab," and they swab all your stuff. Do not forget your ID at the airport.
They swabbed my candle today.
They swabbed your stuff too?
Only my candle.
Why do they swab shit?
But they
the chemicals?
said it was cute though. They said it was cute.
And did they let you keep it?
Yeah. It was cute. So what'd you tell them?
So I told them there's film in the front pocket. First of all, when you forget your ID at the airport, the questions that they ask you to confirm your identity, the questions they asked me were what my mother's name was.
How do they know that?
Well, they have like the files. They have the files of everyone. TSA. They just call someone. And they pull your file. But they're like, "What's your mother's name?"
Wait, where's the file? What files do we give them? I thought they just have our ID.
Hmm?
How do they know our mother's name?
I mean, all of that stuff is documented.
Where?
The government has it.
I don't like that.
I mean, I'm not.
I'm a little surprised.
You're surprised by that?
a little bit.
Oh, okay. I'm not. I guess. I was shocked that the way to authenticate that I was
Because
myself.
they just asked me like a couple questions about my address. Like I don't think they asked me my mother's name.
They didn't ask for a relative's name.
No.
Well, they did for me.
Maybe my dad's, but I'm used to getting asked my dad's because I'm on his insurance still
Yeah. Well,
until next year.
true. Pinch.
So what'd you do?
So I give them this information that really anyone could find on the internet.
Right.
And I let them know that my flight's in like 20 minutes. And the guy's like, don't worry, they'll wait for you. So I'm going through TSA. And they put all my shit in like red. Did they do the red bins for you when you forgot your thing?
Mm-hmm.
They like searched your shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're searching and swabbing all my stuff. And then they say something comes back. They don't know what it is. I say, it's the film. It's the film. They're like, no, we don't know what it is. We're going to have to take you to a secure room. Did they ever threaten you with the secure room? They threatened me with the secure room.
No, mine was really chill. They
Damn
were
it.
like, you're going to be fine. And then I got
LAX
through.
The Detroit airport is great.
Yeah.
That's a great airport. So
LAX is actually like, you just shouldn't fly LAX. You just shouldn't do that to yourself. And if you have to, I'm really sorry for you. Like that is,
it's not ideal. So they send someone down to pat me down. He's really concerned that I'm thinking he's a creep by the way he's about to pat me down. Like he was really like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna like touch you everywhere.
He said, I'm sorry, I'm gonna touch you
He
everywhere.
said, just so you know, I'm gonna touch your butt
He said that to
and
you.
I'm gonna touch your groin.
He said that to you.
Yes.
He had to touch your groin. And what'd you do?
In between.
What'd you do after
It
that?
wasn't even like that. Wasn't even like that.
What'd you do?
I was fucking hard as shit.
Stop.
Fuck.
Stop.
But for real though, he touches me, and then they swab my hands.
Yeah, I remember them
they swab
swabbing
your
my hands. I
hands.
kind of liked it.
Yeah,
Like it was
it's
kind
kind
of
of
nice.
nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, he swabbed my hands, and he's like, "We found something in your bag. What's in your bag?" And I'm like, "It's the roll of film." They're like, "But what is it?" And I said, "It's film. It's in the front pocket." So he grabs it out, and then at this point, I'm upset. I'm like, "Look, I'm probably missing my flight. Can I just go now?" Because they're
Right. I know how you got upset.
they're inspecting it. They're calling all their friends to inspect it, as if they've never seen a piece of shit like me with frickin' a roll of film. This is
Yeah.
LAX. They've never seen a roll of film in their life. Like, what? They have signs in the airport of how to store your film.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
It's the Los
That
it's
is
Los
one of
Angeles.
that's actually one of the reasons I don't like LAX.
And I realize in that moment I'm contributing as part of the problem, but the fact that I am being stopped for this at this airport
Yeah.
is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually insane to me. So they're like really inspecting it. One woman is about to open the roll. She's about to open the roll up. If you open up a roll,
It's gone.
it's gone. Everyone knows this. There's not a single person on the planet who's unaware of this fact.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can't. I'm looking at her, and I'm like, you can't do that. And she's like, do what? I said, that's film. You can't open the front. She's like, well, it returned a chemical. I said, of course there's a chemical. It's film. There's a chemical. So, like, I'm almost shouting now. And there's another woman looking through my camera, and she's about to open the back. You can't open the back of a camera when there's film in it for the same exact reason. So I'm, like, saying to them, have you never seen this before?
What did they say?
You can look at any other look at the next person's backpack. Look at another frickin' 20-something-year-old piece of shit. They're going to have a roll of film in their bag too. And they're like, sir, you need to calm down. And I'm saying, you can't open the thing. Please, just don't open the thing.
Oh, I'm so happy I wasn't there.
It was bad.
I would have been sweating.
It was bad. So I'm yelling at this point, and they're telling me I need to calm down. This man who just molested me
Right.
is really uncomfortable too.
By you screaming.
Yes, well, he doesn't know what to do. There's a woman at the TSA who is really frustrated by me. So
What is she saying to you?
she's basically telling me I really need to calm down, and they're sorry, and they're not going to open it. They didn't open it, which I appreciated. But the fact that they were legitimately going to was insane to me. So then they run it, they swab it again, and then it returns fine. The guy like smells it, and then they give it back to me.
So your film was ruined.
No, it wasn't. I mean, they put it through. So the next thing was I asked them to hand check it because you can't put it through the x-rays.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I need it hand checked. They're like, we can't do that. We got to put it through the x-ray on the highest setting. So yeah, it did get ruined. But all to say, made it through there. They told me to go to the wrong gate. And then I missed my flight. All to say, I was at LAX that morning, 7 a.m. flight, left the house at 5 a.m. I was leaving LAX, and I was grateful. And, you know, sometimes when these things happen to you, you're asking yourself constantly, is there a reason why? You know, obviously I did not want this to happen, but, like, was there going to be, you know, turbulence on the plane? Was the plane going to get into trouble? You know what I mean?
But the
Like,
plane was okay.
Plane was fine. Everyone was fine. But you're constantly asking yourself, is there a reason why this happened?
Right.
Okay? And as I was walking back from the airport, I was on the opposite side. You need to walk to the shuttles. Have you walked to the shuttles before at LAX?
No.
It's on the opposite side of the airport. It's terrible. So I'm walking. I don't even take the bus. Like, that's how, like, I'm just, like, I'm, like, fully suffering at this point. But I'm putting
You're
myself
choosing
through
to
it.
suffer.
I'm
at that.
choosing to suffer. I'm like, it's 7 a.m. Like, I'm just choosing to suffer.
Mhm.
So I'm choosing to suffer, and I'm walking all the way back. And I'm walking past this, you know, not old lady, but, like, older, right?
Mhm.
She's older, and she drops her jacket. Like, it falls out of her bag. She keeps walking. And I pick up the jacket. I said, ma'am, you dropped your jacket. She said, oh, thank you so much. It's my favorite jacket. So I am reasoning that I missed my flight, that the higher power made me miss my flight so I could save this woman's jacket.
I really thought that was gonna go differently.
No, that's it. That's really it.
Well, I really appreciate that you took the time to appreciate this.
I
the
thought in that
small
moment,
things in
I thought in that
life.
moment, thank God, like, an opportunity came where I could, like, justify this.
Yeah.
Because I had to eat the ticket. Like, I lost $300.
You also got to say bye to me.
That's true. I forgot about that. That was
I thought
fine.
you were gonna say that.
That was fine.
I thought you were gonna say that. Whatever.
That was true. That's true. That was it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually really nice.
Yeah. Okay.
All to say,
You have to appreciate life a little
on
bit
the Uber
more.
home, I was like, like, that fact that, like, this is a bad thing for me, things are okay.
Yeah, you're right. That's how I felt this morning.
And, like, circling back to what you're saying about those people in high school, I saw that a lot this year, too.
You did.
Where people were...
Because you had a moment like that. Huh?
Well, Hawaii is such, like, a awful place socially for, like, nightlife. It's
Yeah.
terrible. There's, like, bars in Chinatown, and then there's Waikiki, and then that's it. And no one wants to go in Waikiki, right? So the other worst place is the mall, and I live near the mall. I
Yeah.
live very close. So I don't like going there because you're going to run into
I'm
someone.
going to explain this the way I explained it to my dad. Malls in Hawaii are like hotels in Vegas. Everything is inside of them.
Yes, they're like people. There's like no place to go to like shop or anything. You know what I mean? Like, or like to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
There's the beach and that's it. There's nature and then that's it. There's just like the malls.
That's kind of fun though. Like, do you guys have like a beach that you go to? Like, I feel like
There's
there
some
would be
beaches.
like, this is the beach where these people hang.
Right.
You
Perhaps.
know?
Yeah, that exists too. But so we go to this. There's one bar
Mm-hmm.
that's like open, and it was in the middle of a mall. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. All to say, I saw people from high school there. It sucked. But on Instagram, like I saw a lot of people posting about their time being home. Like everyone
Yeah,
was posting.
it's like a weird thing this year.
And I'm wondering if it's the year after, college is done. It's the year after.
It's kind of like a year and a half after.
I think it's less of like, I actually see these posts. I've been seeing a lot, like people are super active on social media. Maybe it's like, like this is all they're trying to show, maybe they don't feel the most fulfilled in like their current lives, like postgraduate lives. So they have to like go home and like try to like revive it.
Yeah.
Like keep the dream alive. I think that's maybe like psychology.
And
'Cause
honestly,
I've been seeing it.
I have almost been feeling that way about myself.
Right.
But Andreas does say to me, he said to me, he's like, you need to stop making everything about you. You compare yourself to everyone
You
whose
do that.
situation is nothing like your own.
That's true.
And I was like, you know what? You're right. But the point is that I always felt like I had like this huge like successful life in Michigan, quote unquote.
Right.
But like what really defines success, especially post grad, no one's gonna have like this huge success like a year after graduation.
Yeah.
And I am living like a beautiful life here. I really am. But I don't know. I think I was just feeling like down on myself about that. And so I was thinking like I was going to go home and all my problems were going to be fixed. And I was just going to be embraced by all these different groups of people. And I was going to have this rich, full social life. And then I was like, girl, you never had that when you were home. You had less of a social life than you have now. But the truth is also like, I do feel that the benefit of being home, and like this was the cutest moment of my trip.
Yeah.
Was that Andreas like walked into the kitchen and Leela was like sitting down, like we just like hung out like all the time. And he was like, dang, like I really miss living in the same city as you two, and we all hanging out all the time. And I was
so
like,
cute.
yeah.
Yeah, I think
but I did spend like a lot of time with cousins, a lot of time with my siblings. And I think that, it's also a thing of like, I never felt like I fit in when I was home because I didn't really fit in high school and in grammar school. And I was always that kid that wanted to get out and like had those big dreams and just really saw more for myself. But also to like turn that on its head, I was also always the person that wanted to be around my family. And I think that that's a really rare thing that you don't see those two things going together. And you definitely don't see that a lot where like my siblings are genuinely my best friends. And I like really feel that I can tell my parents anything and I really confide in them. And I feel like the five of us have a very, very close relationship.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes hard for me when I go home because I'm like, this is the most special thing to me in my life. And every time I leave, I'm leaving that. Yeah. And I think for a lot of years, like, because I was the first one to really leave, the city, I think that there was a lot of guilt that came with that. But now that I think my parents have accepted that I've moved away.
And you guys can just
also
appreciate.
Leela and Andreas have left, so there's less pressure on me.
Mm.
I do actually feel sad that I'm gone.
Yeah.
And I think that's a weird thing for me because I see my grandparents getting older. And I see like, not my parents getting older, but just life changing.
It changes.
And I'm like, wow, like I really need to be taking more advantage of the time that I have with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have to just be grateful, especially for family. Like it's yeah.
But I did feel very grateful this trip, and
That's good.
Yeah.
It's great.
But it also made me feel like, wow, I really want to be there with them more.
Mm.
I also think, though, that my sister's in college. It makes me feel okay being away from home.
Yeah.
You know, and my brother. Like, they're both away right now.
Well, it's like, everyone has their life, and it's just, you guys are all going to come back together again. And it's just, instead of trying to force your guys' lives, it's more of like, okay, let's just appreciate it when we can all get back together again. And I think that that's when that transition, which happens with families, because it's always like trying to figure out once things split apart naturally, when people go to college, when people move away. And I do think it takes time. And with my family, I think where I saw change was once Mark graduated college. I think once I left, it was more about us, just trying to be appreciative of the time we had together, especially after my grandfather passed away, which is when both sides of my parents' parents,
Mm-hmm.
so like they were all gone. I think my parents could empathize with the fact that they have each other now, and they have their children now, and you can spend a lot of your life wishing you have more time, wishing you have your kids home with you, wishing you have your parents still alive. So you can have all these wishes, but what do we actually, we spend all of our time wishing for things that we don't have, that you
And
often
you don't
just,
appreciate what you do.
you're just neglected entirely.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something we learned through that. Especially when my grandfather passed away, it was trying to really be present and grateful for,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is funny because my uncle said to me this morning, he was like, he just has been feeling really, I think, frustrated and angry with the fact that he feels that he realized his problem too late. Like, he was at a point where he was so sick from alcohol. He thought he was dying of cancer. He didn't know that it was from alcohol poisoning.
Right.
And he feels that he wasted this whole time in his life, bringing, in his own words, burden onto his family, and really, wasting his life with this problem.
Yeah.
And he's older-ish, but he still has a lot of life left.
Yeah.
And I think it's this idea that he's having to come to terms with the fact that he can have a completely new life, and that there is still more, and to be appreciative of what he has now, because he does feel angry about this whole past.
Yeah.
And that put a lot into perspective for me. Obviously, I will never know what it's like to suffer from an addiction, but it did put into perspective, you cannot change the past, so you really do have to focus on how to show the people in your life how you appreciate them in the present moment. And there's just what I felt for him in that moment, because I could see that he was struggling and that he was sad. I was like, but you have so much life left to live. You have so much that you can completely turn your life around. You can change it. You have the power to create your own life, And obviously he has so many more obstacles than I have in my life. And I think oftentimes I put on myself a time limit, and I'm like, you have to get this done. You have to be here at this time. You're wasting away. But I do have so much life to live. And yeah, that I think this morning really put into perspective for me, those little things that I've been worried about this year don't really matter in the grand scheme of things that much. This year I think was a really hard year for me, because we moved. And I think that what's come from this year is that my relationship with my family, even though it was really brutal when we first moved here, it's really become the strongest that it's ever been.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
And I think that's also because I chose like my own happiness, and because of that,
And you chose to live.
yeah, and because of that I was able to give back more to my family,
Right.
I think. But I don't know. I think that this was a hard year. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, like I really am so blessed.
Yeah, when we talk about making that choice to live,
Mhm.
it's scary because it comes with change,
Yeah.
and it's easier to pursue the thing that's familiar. When people often fall into like midlife crises, when people fall into these moments of quarter life crises,
Mhm.
thinking about falling into cycles, falling into habitual tendencies, um, it can be really hard to pick yourself out of those things. There's this um, great movie I saw, Another Round,
Yeah.
where and the movie's great, but the director, did I tell you this?
Yeah.
The director, right before shooting the film, the day before, his daughter passes away, who was supposed to star in the movie.
Oh, I didn't know she was supposed to star in the movie.
Yeah. His wife was driving her to a friend's house, and she was the only one who passed away in the car accident. They were literally supposed to film like the next day
Mhm.
or the next few days, and she was the lead. So they had to figure out, A, do we even still make the movie? B, how could you possibly, like, what do you do? So they obviously don't cast anyone else. They rewrite the script, and the movie changes a shape in a way where it's more about this man who's fallen into kind of this midlife crisis of, he's a teacher at a school, and he's sort of fallen into like the trope of uh, a middle-aged man
Mhm.
with a family and kids and not knowing how to move forward. He's sort of lost kind of the feeling of life.
Mhm.
And it's really beautiful because you feel it, but you feel it from the director, you feel it from the actors, all trying to find this will to see something new and live. And there's this moment in the movie where where you see him make the choice, and it's really beautiful. And I think that it's really hard, but I think, especially the older I get, the more I try to be conscious of, what do I have? I'm very lucky that I'm surrounded by the people I love, that my parents are healthy, that I have you, and that it's hard, but I know that the things that we want will happen, and we just have to give it time.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good year.
And then also be grateful that we've had this time.
Yeah. You're right. And I'm really grateful for this year, even though there were challenges. I think that I grew a lot, and
I totally think so too.
I think our relationship has grown a lot too.
True that.
True that, buddy.
True that. Well, this podcast started in 2023.
And it ended in 2024.
Look at that. Well, we appreciate you guys also sticking with us through 2023.
2023 was the year that we started this podcast. And in 2024, we hope to grow and
keep it going.
Yeah, give you some exciting new projects to look forward to. We love you guys.
FIFA.
Full fun, bitch.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want